Hello and welcome to another Typical Boro Podcast. As always, I'm your host Steve Dixon, and I'm delighted to say I have the full set back with me today. Mr. Graham Bandera, welcome to the podcast, Bandy. That's easy for me to say.
Too much celebration last night.
I think so.
Absolutely.
You're looking very festive in your Santa hat and Christmas jumper.
Got to be done. Paying homage to our Swedish special one. Fantastic. Great to see him in his Santa hat after the game as well. Mingling with
and
the
I'm delighted to say he's back. He's back. He's also wearing a Christmas jumper. Tommy Conway slots home a penalty and he reappears. Welcome, John Cutler, back to the podcast. You all right?
Yeah, all good, yeah. I know I've been off a couple of weeks. Few people ask how I'm doing. But I woke up this morning, I was feeling fine. I had promotion on my mind. Hellberg's taking us up like I knew he would. Oh, yeah.
Being on the Chevy, that lad, dear. Well done, Cuts. Good to have you back, son.
Good to have you back. Good to have you back. He's put the tenants down. He's put the shortbread away. He's back. Right, we've got loads to discuss today. We've got obviously Charlton. We've got QPR. We've got Kim Hellberg. We've got everything to discuss. We've got some brilliant fans' questions and all the rest of it. But just before I start, just to give our sponsors, Midas Claddon, another plug. Prize draw, 2 season cards, half season cards up for grabs. The draw closes, remember, Borough fans, on the 19th of December. So if you're not in it and you fancy winning something for free, courtesy of Midas Claddon, get in, get involved. Go on X, go on Facebook for any information on it, what you want to see. It's a brilliant prize, and we're delighted to be offering it. If you're enjoying the podcast, if you're enjoying the prize draws, please subscribe, please like. Please keep leaving your comments. It's brilliant, all the comments we're getting in the YouTube section as well. Keep doing that. It gets the podcast put out there. So thank you very much. Seen some of you yesterday at the game, in the fan zone, in the stadium, in the pubs. Lots of yous coming over and saying hello to me yesterday and passing on your regards that you're enjoying the podcast. Great to see you all yesterday. Really appreciated by everybody here. Right, we'll get cracking on with Charlton. Charlton 1, Middlesbrough 2. Middlesbrough put them to the sword. Riley McGree, 34 minutes. Morgan Whittaker again, 45 minutes plus 3 was enough to see off Charlton. There was 2 changes. Bergzog came in for Riley. Oh, I'm getting myself mixed up here. Sorry. Was this Bergzog came in for David Strelitz at Charlton? It was just the one change. Strelitz was ill, so Bergzog went in up front. A little bit of a disruption. Strelitz had scored at Hull. Bergzog came into the team, but we got the job done. Bandy, your thoughts on Charlton?
Yeah, it was much of the same, really. Sort of kicked off where we left off in the previous game. More hell ball in that first half. Could have been a lot more, to be honest. Good finish from Riley. Great to see Whittaker continue his rich vein of form. So, yeah, good first half. We obviously tailed off a wee bit second half. We made changes again. But I think we've got to accept now that that's his way and his method of attacking 90 minutes or 95 minutes of football. We go hell for leather first half, try and blow teams away, and then second half we sort of try and rest and recuperate whilst maintaining a foothold in the game. So I thought we were excellent. Really, really good performance. Echoes of the whole game, to be honest. Yeah, long may that continue, because at the moment we are absolutely motoring. Brilliant to see.
It could have been a bit of a banana skin down at Charlton after hammering Hull. But I thought it was a real professional performance at Charlton. Got out the traps again quickly in the first half. Obviously, 2 good goals. Riley McGree, after a great cut back by Bergzog, slotted into the back of the net right on half-time. Riley McGree gets the ball again, drives through the midfield, lays the ball out wide to Morgan Whittaker in his most dangerous position. Whittaker comes in on his left foot, wallop, 2-0 right on half-time. Really professional first half performance, Cuts.
Yeah, I think a big thing I'm seeing is, and I've said about it for years and years, we start games too slow. But under Hellberg, we're not. We're straight at him, getting stuck in, attacking play. You mentioned Riley there for the through ball, but the ball before from, and I am now, by the way, an official Callum Britton enthusiast. It's on me bio and X. So, yeah, that ball from Britton to the inside to McGree, top notch. Absolutely superb. And we'll talk more about Callum later because I can't talk about him enough. But that pass into the middle of midfield was superb. And a great first half performance.
As we say, 2-0 up. As he did at Hull, it seemed to be enough for Kim Hellberg. He was happy to preserve the lead. He's made changes. 63 minutes. Off came Whittaker. Off come Bangura. On come Edmondson. On come Aylan. Showed it up at the back. 73 minutes. Conway comes off. McGree comes off to help keep the legs fresh for the QPR game. On comes Brown. On comes Naipan. And later on, Bergzog comes off for Sen. I'm all happy and fine with that. I mean, a lot of fans have said already, why don't we just keep going and blow these teams away and get 5, 6 and 7? Well, I was happy under Aitor Karanka when we used to go 1-0 up and 2-0 up or 2-1 up, and fans would say, why does Aitor not just go for the jugular and get the third and the fourth rather than just sitting on the 1 or 2-0? I'm as happy now as I was then. To me, if I know my team's got a great chance of getting 3 points by playing that way, I'm all for it, because all that matters in the Championship is keeping them 3 points ticking over week after week after week. And I can see Hellberg, like Graham was saying, get out the traps, get at them, get in front. And once Kim Hellberg thinks the game's done and dusted, if he wants to shore it up, if he wants to tweak his tactics, go to the wing backs and 5 at the back or what have you to see the game out, I don't care less. That's 4 wins out of 4. I don't care about getting entertained in the second half. If we blew teams away like we have against Hull first half, like we did against QPR yesterday and like we did against Charlton, it's great to watch, isn't it?
Yeah, I think at 3-0, I'm all for that. But I think at 2-0 in the Championship, it's still a bit of a sticky situation. You've seen on against Charlton, once they got the goal back, they didn't have a great chance, but they had a couple of little half chances where, on other days it maybe would have went in. I think we did become a little bit disjointed with the changes, but he's still learning his squad. He's still learning what the players can do and what they're good at and what they're not so good at, maybe. So, that's a learning process, and we can't argue with it at the moment, let's be honest.
In games, we're almost seeing 2 different teams, because like you say, when it makes these changes second half, we sort of retreat into a lower block, but that's another way of combating teams. We sit in, and then we can bring on Calais Sen to hit teams hard on the counter. So we're sitting in lower, but we're not pressing as high. The intensity levels drop somewhat, and it just gives players that rest and recuperation time. It's sort of a preservation project, really, and he's looking forward to that next game. He obviously trusts his players enough to make these wholesale changes and still see the game out. It can get a bit wobbly at times for fans, the last 10 minutes. If QPR had got a second yesterday and there's 10 minutes to go, you're thinking, oh, hey, what's going on? But at the moment, you've just got to trust him. You've got to trust the players, because they're putting absolutely everything in for him. And it's working a treat. It really is.
I think you've got to remember as well, the games are going to come thick and fast over the next couple of weeks. Boxing Day, the 28th, New Year's game. So, he's doing it for a reason. I think in a perfect scenario, he maybe wouldn't be making as many changes as he is. But you've got to think about the long game as well.
And also about the physicality and the mentality of players. It's hard to sustain them levels for a full 90 minutes plus injury time. Nigh on impossible. He's not stupid. He knows who to bring off, and he knows who to bring off when. And it's working brilliantly. Trusting.
I think that 3-game block as well. You looked at it where you had 2 back-to-back away games, Hull and Charlton, and then the home game against QPR. And I think before those games were played, if somebody had said you're going to get 7 points, you would have absolutely took it. To get 9 out of 9 is absolutely out of this world. Tremendous to get 9 out of 9. The way we've done it as well, the goals we've scored, more than deserved the 9 points. And I think Hellberg's used the squad carefully by thinking, well, I'm going to tweak it from Hull, tweak it again to Charlton, tweak it again to QPR, and everybody's had game time and everybody's played the part. Go on, Cut.
No, I didn't have nothing to say.
Sorry, I thought you were jumping in. So we'll move on to QPR yesterday. Changes again, like we've just been mentioning. Luke Aylan came in for Bangura. Again, that was obviously to give Bangura some rest time after not playing for months. He's played 2 games back-to-back. He comes out for Luke Aylan, shuffles target across to left back. Brown comes in, which was a bit of a surprise for Alex Gilbert, but again, Alex Gilbert hasn't played for a long time. Again, he's played back-to-back games. Brown comes in, and David Strelets comes in for Bergzog, which I think he would have done had he not been ill anyway. Strong team for me, guys. Before the game, I was more, despite the changes, I was more than happy with it. Looked a real strong lineup to me.
Yeah, I was delighted with that starting lineup, and I think his decision making was justified in terms of resting Bangura and Gilbert. He said as much in his presser afterwards. That was his intention, and it worked. The players that are coming in are hungry, they're fresh, and they're good to go.
Cuts, happy with the lineup?
Yeah, I think a week's a long time in football. I think before the whole game, I was very surprised to see Gilbert in. It's the only one yesterday that I questioned a little bit, and I love Brown, but I think Gilbert's done really well in the 2 games that he's played. Massively impressed me. So he could maybe feel a little bit unfortunate. Bangura's been out a long time, played a couple of games in a short space of time. You've got to manage his minutes, so I could understand that. And Aylan coming in was fine with me. It was just the Gilbert one, but as we'll talk about in a little bit, the manager has proved absolutely bob on again.
Interestingly, both home games under Kim Hellberg, he started with Hackney and Brown. So maybe that's in his psyche at home. He might want a different sort of dynamic in the midfield to when we play away from home. Maybe he wants away from home to get out the blocks quick, get on the front foot with an Alex Gilbert, where at home we can maybe take with time a bit more. I don't know, but it's just interesting that he started with the same 2 back-to-back home games. So the game itself, guys, I'll come to you, Bandy. First half, we'll get into it, but that's one of the best halves of football I've watched as a Middlesbrough fan in many a year. Unbelievable.
A couple of weeks ago, I said that about our first half performance at the MKM, Hull City. And I think yesterday topped it, if I'm honest. I thought it was incredible. At times, I couldn't believe what I was watching. The intensity was frightening. The way we played so narrow, we were almost playing little rondos in the middle of the park. It's like a training session at times, and we're zipping the ball around so fast that teams can't cope with us. We're technically proficient in that area, and I think that's where he's focusing all his capabilities and his energies, because he knows how good we are and how intricate we are with the ball in that centre area. And teams are getting sucked in, and then as soon as they come in and swarm us, we're putting the ball out wide, and we've got 2 attacking fullbacks who are absolutely dynamite in Target and Mr. Enthusiast, Callum Britton. Absolutely class. Honestly, he's found a way to get the best out of every single player in this team. He's a genius. Honestly, that first half, I'm still buzzing about it. It's hard. I found it hard to sleep last night because I couldn't stop sort of replaying the little passages of play through my mind. We could have wrapped that half up 6, 7, 8. Honestly, it was so good. And I don't think I've ever seen a first half as good as that, I'll be honest. It was brilliant.
Cuts, the only thing that was bothering me watching it, even though I was really enjoying it, was still level until David Strelets on half an hour eventually puts Middlesbrough in front, which was a great goal. Hackney, who had a superb game yesterday, plays a superb through ball to Strelets, 1-on-1, and he done what we paid the money for. Clinical finish, whips it past the goalkeeper. I had no doubt he was going to score when I seen him bearing down on the north stand. I knew he was going to score. He looked confident yesterday. But it was relief to me, because I thought, when you're playing well, when you're in topping games, you've got to take your chances when they come. And up until that point, we had been a little bit wasteful. Wonderful football. However, we get the goal. Once we go 1-0 up, I'm then confident we can go on and win the game. But were you worried at all at any stage when it was 0-0?
You just think to yourself at 0-0, can we keep playing as well as we're actually playing? We absolutely battered them yesterday for the first half. And funnily enough, I've seen a few tweets from their fans where they said it was like playing a Premier League team, and a few of them have said, although we lost 7 at Coventry, that's the best performance any team's put in against them all season, including when they got gumped 7. So that tells you all you need to know. I think there was flair there was finesse, there was grit, determination, work rate, and we talk a lot about the lack of pace in this team, but it looks like we're lightning quick coming away here when we're getting the ball in the final third. I'm too young to remember the 1970 Brazil team, but I've seen a lot of videos, watched a lot of telly about them. That was like watching them. It was at half time. I was talking to me mate. I couldn't believe how well we played in that first half. It was a joy to watch. Privilege, worth every single penny, worth the years of rubbish we've been watching. Fantastic,
brilliant. Cuts. Do you think Callum Britton resembles Carlos Alberto then?
Do you know what? Honestly, I was thinking to myself last night, and I've thought about the right backs we've had while I've been following this football club. Right, we've had Brian Laws, who I loved when I first started going. Right. We've had Cooper in his first spell playing right back. Then we've had Danny Mills, Luke Young, who I loved. Sadly, he was only here for a season. If I was picking my all-time Borough team right now, Callum Britton would definitely be in the conversation. He's great going forward. He's still running the 90th minute. Yesterday, there was a point yesterday right in front of me. Someone gave the ball away in midfield and the ball went out for a corner and he absolutely rollicked them. I'm not sure who it was. And that was at 3-0 or 3-1. What a professional. Honestly, I can't talk highly enough about Callum.
He made the recovery tackle on the player's behalf. I think it was Gilbert that chucked him in the deep end a bit and he had to recover and dig it out. But yeah, class. Mentioned Parky as well. You know, as another right back, Riverside, Luke Young. So we've had some good ones, but I wholly concur. Cuts, I think he's absolutely brilliant.
He's in the conversation. Neil Cox, I would throw him in the mix.
He's another
well.
good one, yeah.
But yeah, he's in the conversation because he never gives a 6 out of 10. He's 7 out of 10 at least every game. He's consistent. He's up and down. He works hard. He's a leader. And what we've done well with the recruitment team, and Kieran Scott deserves a lot of credit, is some of the players we've brought in. Callum Britton, Matt Targett and Alfie Jones, 3 absolute leaders on the pitch to slot in with obviously some of the ones we've got already, like Luke Ayling. And it just gives that nice mix of the new signings coming in, but the old heads to know, you know, when to shut up shop, when to give them a bollocking, all that type of thing. It's just, you know, the experience shines through in the squad. And we're just talking about that first half there, and you said, you know, the QPR fans were waxing lyrical and saying it was even better than when Coventry dismantled them 7-1. Middlesbrough's stats in the first half were far better than Coventry's when they played QPR. In the first half, Middlesbrough's stats were 76% possession to Middlesbrough, 1.43 expected goals. We don't like XG on here, but I'll mention it anyway because it suits me narrative today. Total shots, 14. Shots on target, 5. Big chances, 2. Out of 295 passes, 91% were successful for Middlesbrough yesterday.
Incredible, that.
In 6 corners. Were absolutely battered. And on reflection, QPR on the flip side, right? QPR, 24% possession, 0.08 XG. Total shots, 1. On target, none. Big chances, none. Big chances missed, none. 1 corner. Were absolutely battered them first half.
One thing I want to say there, possession stats don't mean a thing normally, right? Because the difference between yesterday and when we had Michael in charge, right, where it was pass with nothing happening. Yesterday, it was passing and getting into the final third and attacking and being a massive threat. Every time we had the ball yesterday, in the first half especially, I thought there was players wide open. It's the movement of the other players working hard for each other that don't necessarily... You see on the eye, that's creating all the space in the midfield for people like Hayden, Riley McGree to get on the ball and create things. Whittaker yesterday, every time he got the ball, control straight away, wasn't getting away from his feet. You go back 2 months ago, even though we said he's got talent and he needs a goal, it's completely different. So it's the work rate amongst the team. You look at the penalty, there was players going up, giving the ball to Conway. They wanted him to get his goal because they appreciate what he does for this team. There was no question. He might not have felt, I'm not that confident having scored for so long. But the players, straight away, Tommy, this is for you. Fantastic to see. And that is what builds a promotion-winning team and squad.
Hellberg said when he came in, he wanted to play linear, as in vertical, not horizontal. And that's the way we're playing. We're getting players on the ball quickly. We're almost playing 2-touch at times. Through players, little wall passes, runners everywhere, flooding the box. It's beautiful to watch. There's a passage of play yesterday which was resulted in Conway being offside, where Riley's got it and he plays this intricate ball just wrong side of the fullback. Fullback nearly torn his ACL adjusting to get the ball. Britton's in on it, and beautiful ball across, just a yard off, but fantastic. That's the passage of play we're seeing regularly now. And we were never seeing that under previous managers. But like Cuts rightly says, we did play some really good stuff under Michael, but it just lacked that penetrative instinct. And now we've finally got that under Hellberg.
I think the biggest difference, that's helping us more than anything, is that Tommy's got someone up there with him. There's another option for a ball rather than Tommy. So fair enough, people have talked in the past about Tommy running into the channels, blah, 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 but he's doing it to try and make space for other players. But now he's got Strelic up there with him. So there's another option. So he's taking defenders away and Strelic is getting the ball. And like yesterday, when he's clean through and scores the goal, excellent finish, by the way. Yeah. So, I think that's made a huge difference. Options for players. We've got ability behind them. You mentioned McGree there. Against Charlton, his through ball for Bangura, when he played it through the defender's legs, he's a top player. We've got ability all over, but you need the options and the players that are making the runs in front, which is finally happening.
Strelek's finally up to speed now as well. I think when he scored that goal on his debut, was it? The tap in?
Yeah.
North Stand. I think it probably lulled fans into a false sense of security, thinking, oh, he's up and running, he's going to get a bag full. Took his time to sort of bed into this system. And like Cuts again says rightly, that he's got a partner now. He can find him and Tommy can play off him. He's holding the ball up better. He looks stronger. He looks hungrier. He looks more aggressive. If you're a defender, you don't want to play against David Strelek. So brilliant. And the way he took his goal yesterday, I knew he was going to score when he ran through. He gave the keeper the eyes and put it in like the narrowest of angles into the corner. Beautiful finish.
I agree with Cuts. I think as Conway is benefiting from having Strelets alongside him, I think Strelets is benefiting from having Conway alongside him.
100%.
They'll build up that understanding and partnership, which is great to see. I love seeing two up top. We've mentioned the first goal by Strelets. We've briefly went on about the penalty from Conway. What we haven't mentioned, in my opinion, is my favourite Middlesbrough goal of the season, being a goalkeeper. One of my favourite goals of the season, if not the favourite, and that was Big Sol Bryn with his catching the ball like Bostic, like glue on his gloves. Comes and gets him, catches the ball. That's not good enough for Sol. He races out the edge of his box, sees Whittaker away, pings a ball. Edison at Man City in his prime would have been proud of, right under the feet of Whittaker. Morgan Whittaker, 2 months ago, does absolutely nothing with that ball, but he's so confident now. His touch is great, and he's got the habit now of doing what he's good at, which is cutting inside onto his left foot and smashes the ball into the bottom corner. That was an absolutely world-class bit of football at any level, and to see it yesterday in a game when we were playing so well was just a joy to watch.
Mentioned the other week in jest that Messi's made a career out of finishing like that, just cutting in on the right-hand side, on his left foot. You know what he's going to do, but defenders can't stop him, and Whittaker's doing that week by week now. Brilliant. And going back to Sol Bryn, just quick thinking, beautiful delivery off his hand. Pinged it at 80 yards, would you say? Whittaker didn't even have to break stride because he knew it was coming his way and took 3 or 4 touches and just stroked it in. Class goal. And like you say, Dicko, I think that's probably my favourite goal of the season so far. Because it was so different as well, so unexpected.
You mentioned it being different. I was just going to say, to get promoted, you need many feathers to your bow. So we normally play pass, quick forward, but that shows they're not afraid to go long either if needs be. And yesterday was the perfect example of that. It
wasn't a punt either, was it, Cuts? That will have been worked on in training. That will have been worked on. And Sol Bryn, fantastic again.
Yeah,
just talking tactics briefly on Kim Hellberg as well, because I was at the game yesterday with Bandy, and he just made a point that just I thought was a brilliant point and made me think. He said it's like watching Bielsa ball now. Bandy obviously lives down Harrogate. He's around the Leeds fans. He's watched Leeds over the years under Bielsa. And, you know, Kim Hellberg, one of his favourite managers that he's watched over the years is Bielsa. And I think we're sort of seeing that, where Leeds, when they're at the pump, Bandy, used to try to blow away teams early on, get in front, and then they sometimes had a few nervous moments towards the end of the games, but 9 times out of 10 they would hold on and get the job done. Are we seeing similar now under Kim Hellberg?
100%. I mean, Leeds, obviously, like you say, I'm surrounded by them. I'm married to a Leeds supporter. She's fanatical. She's mad about him. She was mad about Bielsa. I had to watch. I couldn't get away from it. If she's watching the match, I'll probably watch it with her. And yeah, Leeds were turgid. They were awful until he arrived, and he completely transformed them overnight. And the parallels are frightening. And it's interesting you say that Kim Hellberg is a massive advocate of Bielsa and De Zerbi at Brighton in the way he wants to play. So you're looking at it's high intensity, it's possession-based football, rapid attacking transitions, aggressive pressing, high up the pitch, intricate passing through midfield, high risk, high reward football, and that's what we're seeing now from Hellberg. So he's transposing his ideas onto our team, which is brilliant. And you ask any Leeds fan, they still want him back. They want Bielsa back because of the way, you know, he just encapsulated everything good about that team. It was brilliant. There's probably one player in our team who probably can't speak highly enough of him, and that's Luke Ayling, because he came on leaps and bounds under Bielsa and he looked a completely different player, transformed him. He'll obviously tell you about murder ball and stuff in training, where Bielsa used to play 11v11, high intensity games in training, little sort of 4-5 minute sessions. If the ball's out of play, there's another one quickly put on. There's no stoppages. You're just playing hell for leather for 5-10 minutes. It blows you out the water, that level of fitness as well. So
Hellberg made a great comment at his press conference as well when he was talking about he's never played 4-2-2-2 before, but he looked at the Middlesbrough squad. He also mentioned that he used to love Championship Manager and playing on the computer games, managing
that's
and
brilliant.
all that. And he said, as daft as it sounds, it does help you with your knowledge of the database and different tactics and stuff. Not going to make you a manager overnight, by the way, but it does help your knowledge in the game. And he was mentioning like using your players, what their qualities are, their best parts, getting the best out of the players. So it's what can the players do for you rather than what can you do for the players at times. And I thought that's really clever, because if you look at Rob Edwards, for example, and this isn't a criticism of Rob Edwards, this is what most managers would do. If you're managing Morgan Whittaker, you're wanting Morgan Whittaker, this player that you brought in, who's scoring goals for fun at Plymouth, as a wide player. You think he can get down the line, you can think he can get past his man, he's got the skill set to do so. And if that's the way you want to play, you're trying to tell Morgan Whittaker, you need to get wide, you need to get down, down the flanks. Kim Hellberg is sort of went, well, that's not his strength. He hasn't got the pace, he hasn't got the strength to go past fullbacks. But what he can do is, when he gets the ball, he can cut inside and come into the central areas where he's strong, where he's confident. You can get him in areas of the pitch where he can get his shot off. And we've also got other players that are more comfortable, shall we say, coming inside rather than outside. Riley McGree likes to come inside and get involved in the middle. David Strelec, Tommy Conway. You've got Brown, Hackney. They're all more comfortable in central areas. And you think, well, yeah, but we can't all just go down the middle. Where's the width coming from? But we can, because the tactics. Callum Britton again, going to mention him again. He can get down the line. He can bring you the width. He can get the crosses in the box. Alex Bangura, cleverly reintroduced into the side. He can get down the line. He can get the width. He can get the crosses in, as can Matt Targett if he plays there. So it's really clever what Kim Hellberg has done by getting the players into areas of the pitch where they're confident and more comfortable to play. Alex Gilbert as well, look at him. He's came in, again, another one where he's comfortable in them areas, where in the past Middlesbrough have sort of tried Alex Gilbert in a wide area of the three sitting behind Tommy Conway. Alex Gilbert under Kim Hellberg, he was playing as a 6. So it's fantastic management, in my opinion, to get the best out of all these players. Cuts, come in.
Completely correct. But the only reason why this works is because we have two fullbacks who are both have footballing brains that are clever. You can't play it 40 yards from the right to the left and the left to the right if the fullbacks aren't getting into the positions. Both fullbacks have been a huge, huge part of our success this season, and probably the main reason why we're succeeding, because the upgrade from last season it's absolutely unbelievable. We've got two solid fullbacks that, in my opinion, if we do get promoted, which we all hope we do, could possibly give us target a season in the Premier League. Britain, I think, longer. I think a huge part of our players down to the fullbacks and how clever they are.
I agree, Cuts. In fairness to Edwards and predominantly the coaching staff, he brought them in and he utilised them to maximum effect. However, Hellberg has taken these fullbacks on to another level in terms of the way they can distribute the ball. Their passing range now is incredible. Yesterday, Britain, he wasn't just flinging balls in for the sake of it and hoping somebody gets on the end of him. It was precision engineering in the way he was sort of making his passes to feet, crisp, 30, 40-yard passes, hard. The one he set up for Tommy, where he's got a deflection off it and it's just gone wide off the post. Incredible. He was hitting diagonals for 30, 40 yards. Targett was doing the same. So good. And Cuts rightly points out, that's the way we can get at teams, by applying width when it's really necessary. But I think that the way we play so narrow, like you rightly say as well, Dicko, it's brilliant to watch because the intricacies are just bamboozling the opposition. They don't quite know how to work us out. It is like a glorified training session played at high intensity.
The thing is, as well, we're all watching the things that are easy on the eye yesterday, the things that we can all talk about. And I mentioned about Britain having a go at Bandy said it was Gilbert.
I think
And
it
then
was
you can look
Gilbert.
at-
Stand
You
corrected.
can look at Ayling yesterday. I think it was about the 85th minute at 3-1, putting his body on the line. Alfie Jones is another one that will put his body on the line. We've seen it all season. They're ingredients that get you promoted. Ayling yesterday, when he threw his body in the box, and I think it whacked him in the chest, they're things that I love to see. I absolutely love. I want my defenders to defend, put the bodies on the line, do the ugly things, because they're as important as the flair and the finesse. You've got to have it to be successful.
Don't
That's
forget
why I admire
Alan
him so
Brown's
much.
tackle as well. That was really important.
Class.
It's 3-1.
Oh,
Alan
what
Brown, what a tackle that
unbelievable.
was. That goes in 3-2. You're getting a bit nervous in the North Stand. What a tackle that was by Alan Brown in
Yeah.
that time in the game. Fantastic.
oh-
That's as good as a goal, by the way.
Yeah. Also,
Absolutely.
massive credit to the QPR central defender who tracked back with Tommy when he was in on goal after a couple of minutes, and then he's put in a last ditch side tackle. Brilliant. So yeah, there's some good defending yesterday from both teams. But yeah, going back to Ayling, that's what you need in your team. Take him on for the team 3 or 4 times a game. Class.
As an old school fan from Ayson Park, I love seeing that as much. Like some of my hero, Mowbray, Gary Hamilton, tackle a brick wall. I love seeing that as much as I love seeing flair. Players that are going to fight and show the commitment and desire that we have as fans, not just us on this pod, the whole people who go and watch us week in, week out.
We've got
I
that
love it.
balance, haven't we, Cuts?
We have.
We've got a mix of flair, we've got grit, we've got aggression, we've got determination. We can show some housery at times as well, which is serving us well this season. Hence has been second.
But we've also got experience, and like I think it was Dick who mentioned earlier, we've now got leaders. You've got Ayling, you've got Britton, you've got Alfie Jones. Even Sol commanding his box, telling players what to do and what not to do. We haven't had that for a few years in a goalkeeper. And let's face it, he's young in experience at this level. And he's been fantastic. He's been a massive upgrade on what we've had in previous years.
Hackney's
Definitely.
starting to lead now in terms of his performances. You're guaranteed 8, 9 out of 10 pretty
Top
much
notch.
most weeks with him now. And he's inspiring other players. Class, absolutely class act. He's so good.
Yeah.
Best player for me in the championship. There you go.
And we've said it a few times before. We accepted a £20 million bid from Ipswich. You've got to have added another 15 million on that on his performances this year. The club must be absolutely over the moon that he's turned it down. And hopefully we go up, we get a year of him in the Premier League and he's playing Premier League football for his hometown club. But I always said 20 million for him was ridiculous.
Yeah. One more stat before we go on to the penalty with Tommy Conway and get into some discussion on Tommy is Morgan Whittaker, first Middlesbrough player to score in 6 consecutive games since Emmanuel Lat got 7 in a row in a run between April and August 2024. So I thought we might have to go back further to find a player that had a run as good as that, but Lat was the last one, was 7 and 7 between April and August 2024. So the penalty comes. Tommy Conway, let's get into it. I'll give my breakdown of Tommy Conway and then I'll come to the Tommy Conway fan club and you can give your opinion on Tommy Conway. I thought yesterday Tommy Conway had his best performance for a long time in the Middlesbrough shirt. I thought his work rate, his running, his willingness, his partnership with Strelitz was excellent. However, what let him down again, unfortunately, his finishing, in my opinion, wasn't great. Was he unlucky at times? Yes, he was. Should he have been offside when the ball came in from Callum Britton? No, he shouldn't. So when the big moments came and went, he failed. However, he did have a good game. So my centre-forward, I want my centre-forward to score goals first. If he's not scoring goals, I want him to create goals second. If he's doing neither and he's running around for me is just a bonus. Energy and running around is a bonus. I want my striker to score and to create. However, yesterday, that penalty comes up. I want Tommy Conway to take the penalty because I want Tommy Conway to get a goal and get back on the horse and start scoring goals and doing what he's at the football club to do, which he did in general last season. It took a lot of courage for him to do so. I said weeks ago that Tommy Conway needed to be saved from himself and taken out of the side because I thought he was lacking confidence, and I thought a spell on the side lines would have done him good to boost his confidence back up, to come on late in the game, grab a goal and get going again. Now I think I've been proven right with that because on BBC Tees last night there was a brilliant interview with Tommy Conway where he came across as a superb individual human being both on and off the pitch. He cares passionately about this club and the fans and wants to do well. But he said, which I thought was telling, at times my belief in myself wavered. The Coventry game was a tough one to take. It took me a few days to get over that. Being away from my family was the toughest part when going through a spell like that. I almost felt guilty letting them down and my teammates down. Kim has given me the confidence to kick on. I'm starting to get back to my best. I'm glad that I went through that bit, because when it comes round again, I will know how to deal with it. So for me, I think he was suffering a crisis of confidence, and I think he should have been removed from the team. I think I was proven right on that. However, I think he was lucky that the new manager came in when he came in, because as a new manager, what are you going to do if your striker's not scoring? You're going to put an arm round him and you're going to say, come on, son, confidence, let's get going again. I'll get you playing. New broom sweeps clean. I think if Edwards had stayed, he might have come out the team. However, he gets the extra chance with Hellberg. We're creating more chances under Hellberg. And as I say yesterday, I thought he played well. He got the penalty. My only worry for Tommy Conway moving forward now is, if he doesn't score in the next 4 or 5 games, where do we go from there? Now, he's got Bristol City coming up against his old club. He'll be trying anything to score a goal at Bristol City, and I hope he does. But moving forward, I'm not getting carried away because Tommy Conway has scored a penalty. It's still 1 goal in 17 games. If he goes and scores at Bristol, or he scores on Boxing Day and gets himself back in the goals, I'll feel a lot more settled and a lot more confident in Tommy Conway moving forward. Guys, I know you both were impressed with Tommy yesterday, and rightly so. He did play well. And I'll start with Mr. Cutler, because you've been away drinking your cans of Tennant, so I like to see what your opinion is on Tommy.
So, a couple of things from what you've said. Greenby thought his play yesterday was really good. I disagree with you when you say that you've been proven right, because the team with Conway in has been winning. Yesterday, you talk about his chances.
No. Can I hold up? Can I just stop you there? When you say I was proven right, for clarification, I think I was proven right in the fact that he was suffering a crisis of confidence.
Right.
And if you've got a striker suffering crisis of confidence, I think it's the manager's duty of care to take him out the firing line for a bit, manage him properly, bring him back in again. That's all I'm saying. Not right.
So that's fine then. So then we'll go on to his chances yesterday. Let's be honest, if that was us defending, we would say what a world-class tackle, okay? So we'll take that. The second one, they took a deflection off the defender. That's going in, okay? Nothing he can do about that. He's getting into positions to score goals. He's not blazing them over the bar, apart from the Coventry one, which was huge. But he's come out yesterday and he said he felt like he let the rest of the players down, okay? And I will repeat what I keep repeating. Which other forwards are banging the door down to come in and replace Tommy? Sene came on yesterday. Bergzorg, clean through. Who's coming in to replace him? I totally get your point about 1 goal in whatever it is you said. Right? And I talk about his work rate, and I get fans saying to me, they're not there for the work rate, they're there to score goals, which I agree with. But there's nobody banging the door down that I see that is a better option than Tommy at the moment. I've said it for a long time in January. The one position I would strengthen, not to replace Tommy, but to fight with Tommy so we've got an option, is a better centre forward. Better than Sene, better than Bergzorg, better than Hansen, or whoever else you want to play that's going to play in the front 3. Okay, you've got to have someone at least equal ability to Conway, someone that's going to push him so that he knows, because they're not knocking the door down, these other lads. Let's be honest.
I have to disagree slightly. I 100% agree with Bergzorg. I think he should be moved on. However, I do think there's a player in Sen. I think when he come on yesterday, he done quite well. He ran the channels. He got the ball wide, took past the fullback, whipped a great cross in. If Bergzorg hadn't been on his heels and went near post, he would have had a goal. And another point is, yesterday, Bergzorg, when he got put clean through, if he gets his head up, instead of being ridiculous and trying to do some trick on the goalkeeper with a step over and being greedy, if he got his head up and just laid the ball to the left, Sen would have had a tap in for a goal. So if Sen scores that, we're probably having a different conversation, to be fair.
So just one quick thing there. You say Sene came on and ran the channels. So one of the biggest criticisms of Tommy, not just from you, from a lot of people, is that he's not staying in the middle. Sene does not run the channels better than Tommy Conway. Fact. You'd have to be blind to think he does. Okay? So I'm not taking that point.
No,
Okay?
my point is, we're running the channels. Sen, he done that yesterday. I think Tommy Conway works harder than Sen, and he runs the channels, as you say, better than Sen. But all I'm saying is, I think if you had played Sen over the last 17 games, you would have had a better return of goals.
Would we have won as many games? We're never going to know.
We'll never know.
It's all about opinions, isn't it? Everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Yeah.
But until he proves something to me different, and I'm not writing Sen off. If I was the manager of this football club, from what I've seen, even though Tommy's went a long time without scoring before yesterday, no way does Sen start above Conway. For me personally, it's not a criticism of you, Steve, and it's not a criticism of any fan that thinks that. He just doesn't for me.
Can I just say, Cuts, I absolutely agree with you. If I'm picking my team at the moment for Bristol, absolutely Tommy Conway is in it and starts. Absolutely agree with you. I agree with you on that point, and I also agree with you about your point in January. If you're going to sign somebody in January, I'm signing another striker to challenge Strelets and Tommy Conway, and have 3 really, really good strikers to choose from and rotate. I don't think Bergzog's up to it. Sen, as Bandy rightly calls him, is a really good impact player. Maybe he's not.
He proved that yesterday with that run.
Maybe he's not a regular starter at the minute, but I do think there's a player there with Sen, and I'll stick to that until I'm proven wrong. However, I do agree with you. A new striker in January, and I also agree that Tommy Conway should be in the team, 100%.
I'm going to have to obviously disagree with you, Dicko. I'm going to call you out. I might stand corrected if you play back the tapes, but you said he failed in big moments yesterday. There's no bigger moment than stepping up after 16 games without a goal and putting a penalty straight down the middle of the goal at the Red Faction. And that's pressure. He dealt with that admirably, and he deserved that moment. It was a brilliant penalty under massive pressure. You did mention you say he failed in the moments, but like Cut said, it was a good tackle to deflect that ball wide. He was unlucky with going round that keeper where the defender again made a good tackle. Obviously, he was offside. We've seen many good strikers be offside.
Listen, we can all make excuses as much
They're
as
not
we want
excuses,
about
it's fact. It's not an excuse, it's fact.
A good tackle, he's offside. It's been deflected. At the end of the day, he's missed all 3, hasn't he?
Yeah, but there's reasons for it. He's not missed it because he's crap. He's missed it because the defender's done a good job.
When I say he's missed big moments, did he miss the big moments or did he score the big? He missed the big.
He scored.
Yes, he scored a penalty. Credit to him.
That's a goal. That's a big moment. That's a big moment.
With it, but
he put them out of sight. He won the game in effect.
Right. Okay.
Can I just say to back Steve up a little bit here? Steve does not dislike Tommy Conway. I've never once thought in his discussions that we've had, it's like we're in a pub having a chat about what's best for the club. Steve believes that. I don't think he dislikes Tommy.
Absolutely
I think nobody would have been happier in the stadium yesterday than Steve to see Tommy took the penalty away.
100%.
It's not a criticism of Tommy. It's just his view that he's entitled to. Me and Bandy disagree with it, but there's plenty of fans that disagree with me and Bandy that agree with Steve that I've seen on X. One of my good mates, John O, said, it's not about the forward, it says same as him, it's not about the forward running around, they're there to score goals, which I agree with. But I just think he's the best option we've got in the squad we've got at the moment to play.
I agree.
That's all.
And I agree. And if anybody had seen me jumping around the north stand when he scored the penalty, you would see how happy I was.
You were excited. You were in a headlock.
So we've got Bristol City coming up. Gerhard Struber's Bristol City, sitting 11th in the Championship. Normally a bogey team for Middlesbrough, a bogey place to go, Ashton Gate. I think personally it's a good time to play them. They're not in a great run of form. They've only won 1 of the last 5. They lost away at Wrexham. They won away at Portsmouth. They lost at home to Millwall. Drew with Leicester at home. Lost away to Coventry. The home form is patchy to say the least. They've won 4 at home, drew 3 and lost 4. Plus points are, in my opinion, Borges cannot play because he's on loan. He plays every game for them. He won't be playing either, so it's a change to the back 3 that they play. Tommy Conway is going back to Ashton Gate. Come on, do what you should do. Score against your old club. Another plus point. One small problem. Emil Rees-Jacobsen. The Borough Slayer plays for them.
The meme lives on.
So the Borough meme could be back, Bandy. What's your thoughts on going to Bristol?
Well, just when you mentioned about they've lost 4 at home, and then you've come up with Emil Rees. I'm getting typical Borough vibes. However, this season this new era does feel somewhat different. I had similar thoughts going to Hull because they were in a rich vein of form. Thankfully, McBurney, who scored 2 since he came back after injury when he didn't play against us, didn't play that night against us, thankfully, and we dispatched them quite comfortably. So I think it, in terms of my thought process, it's a tricky game, but it's one we can navigate comfortably. And I think we've got to put our utmost faith in Hellberg to come up with yet another system to beat them. I think we'll have too much. The fact that they've lost 4 at home and the way we are playing away from home, taking the game to the opposition and playing it like a home game, I think we can go there and win. But it'll be very, very tight. 1-0, maybe 2-1.
Cuts, can you see Middlesbrough going to Ashton Gate and winning this time, or would you be more than happy with a point when we've got back-to-back home games coming up starting on Boxing Day?
I think there's 2 sides to it, isn't it? I think if we go there and play as well as we can, I think we will and can win the game. I think the players will believe that, the management will believe that. But I mention it every single week. There's not an easy game in the Championship. I don't care that they've lost 4 games at home. It means nothing. Portsmouth, they hadn't done much. They beat us. First defeat of the season. It's about how we prepare, how we play, how we perform on a day. Obviously, there's lots of factors that go into that. Refereeing decisions, red cards, Emil, ex-Preston. Yeah. So lots of different things, but I think perfect scenario for me, go there, get a good result, and Tommy bags a hat-trick. Wouldn't that be great?
That would do. That would be a decent start to Christmas, wouldn't it?
Tough game, no? Tough game.
Yeah.
We'd never see Dicko again.
We'd
need a new host.
We don't normally do them, but we'll do predictions for Bristol. Cuts, Bristol City.
I'm going to go 2-0. Conway to get a brace.
Bandy?
I said 2-1 before. I'll stick with 2-1. Conway and Strelec and Reese. Nailed on. He'll probably score first, and we'll have to come back.
Nailed on.
I'm going to go 1-1. I think
Okay.
Middlesbrough get a point, which I think I would more than take. And go on, just because it's Christmas, Tommy Conway will score.
Yes, he's come out all the way thinking. I knew he'd twist your arm.
See, I agree with you, Dick. Well, I don't think a point next week would be bad at all.
No, not at all. Not at all. We've won 4 in a row. You go to Bristol, get an away point, then you're home on Boxing Day against Blackburn. I'm more than happy with that. So we're getting into the last 10 minutes, guys. So I'm just trying to rush through because we've had some brilliant questions in from the fans this week again. Really good. And we've got Simon Blowers coming first. Bandy, your pal, my pal. He's
Good
been on the
lad,
podcast
Si.
before. Simon, he comes in and he says, in my opinion, seeing a system with the players playing in their best positions is key to Hellberg's success. Callum Britton at right back, not a wing back. Hayden Hackney is a 6, not a 10. Whittaker and Riley McGree tucked in more, not stuck out wide. 2 strikers playing as a pair. Do you guys agree? I'll start with you, Bandy, on that one.
100%. I think we've dedicated a lot of minutes to that thought process on the show today. He's spot on in everything he says about them individuals. They're all playing in the positions where they're comfortable and where they want to play. And I'm sure Hellberg has sat down individually with each player, and in order to get the best out of them, he's asked them questions. Where can I get the best out of you, son? Where are you comfortable? Where are you going to be happy? Because no player likes being playing out of position, do they? So remember when Bernie got stuck out on the left wing when Lenny come? You know, he's not going to score from there. Put him in the middle where he can score.
He still hasn't recovered from that, Bernie, has he?
No, the good pals now. The good pals.
Cuts, Steve Trodden, and this is a good stat going into the Bristol City away game. Here's a stat for you lads. Every time we've went in front this season, we have won, which is true. Another great result today. Let's hope we can keep this momentum up for the bigger teams coming up as well. So when Middlesbrough score first, we'll win. So if we go to Bristol and score first, looking good, Cuts?
Yep, it's a fantastic stat, isn't it? Want to get you to the top 2 positions in the league, dare I say. So let's hope that long continues.
Bandy, Paul Newton.
Yeah,
he comes in.
From Paul.
Yeah. a big shout out to Alan Brown, whose tackle at the back post saved us from 15 minutes of drama. 2 goal-saving tackles in that game, one from Brown and the QPR centre-back on Conway. We mentioned that before. He's spot on, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's spot on. He's a good observer, is Paul. He knows the game, and he's picked up rightly on that Brown tackle class. That's why he's in the team. He's a great player.
Cuts, Paul McLean. We can and will get better. That's the scary part for the rest of the league. Just want to keep the winning run going and use Coventry as the yardstick. And who knows, the greyhound might just catch the hare. Keep looking ahead, not what's behind, and we're in a great position.
Yeah, I think we've mentioned a lot of times in the previous pods that Coventry, we literally think they cannot play any better than they are. Where we knew we could go up a notch or two. Now, the one thing I keep saying to my mates, right? I'm not looking at Coventry in the gap. I'm looking at the gap between second and third. The gap higher, if we keep increasing the gap to third, will take care of itself. So for me, I'm not looking at Coventry at the moment. They've had a bit of a blip the last couple of weeks. Let's hope that continues because we've got a couple of tough. I think we've got Southampton away.
That's right.
And Ipswich at home. Next 2 games. 2 tough games. Really tough. It's about looking at the gap to third, and then the gap between second and first will take care of itself. Do I think we can catch them? Yes, I do. Even though the pundits would have had you believe, after they beat us at the Riverside, 10 points clear that they were already up. We all know this division. Can we catch them? Yes, we can. But let's concentrate on the gap between second and third, which, if we keep doing our job, will increase. And that's the goal.
7-point gap now between Middlesbrough and third place. And also,
huge.
It guarantees that we're in the top 2 for Christmas. So that was a great 3 points for that reason alone. Statistically, we're in a great position, by the way.
I think if we can keep that gap and even extend it, we can sort of psychologically demoralise that third place team. And eventually they might think they've run away with it. We've got no hope now. So we just got to keep avoiding defeat to stay in them playoffs. We've been there ourselves where teams have run away and you think we're not catching them now. So we've just got to maintain and solidify that playoff spot. But hopefully us and Coventry can battle it out for first or second. Who cares, as long as we get up. But we've got to aim to stay in that top 2. We've got to be greedy. When people say, oh, I'll be happy you'd have took playoffs at the start of the season. No, not now in the position we're in. That position we're in now, teams you'd chop your arm off to be in. We've got to stay there. It's imperative that we stay there and get ruthless.
This is no criticism of Preston, Stoke, Millwall. Okay, I'm not looking at them. I was looking at Ipswich and Southampton because of the squads.
And Leicester as well are there, so they're tricky.
But both struggled yesterday. But I looked yesterday and I never come out with stats. Top 10. We've lost 1 game against the top 10. Now, in previous years, when we've played the top teams, we've not took points off them. So we're taking the points off the correct teams. 1 defeat in 10 against the top 10.
Which is brilliant, isn't it?
Great stat.
Fantastic.
Cuts. I'm impressed. Cuts, well done.
Yeah, that's
Thank you.
Anthony Muzz, this is for Bandy.
Yep.
3 wins and 11 for the previous manager. 4 wins out of 4 for Hellball. 4 games under Kim have been amazing to watch, and credit to the man. I think the previous manager was out of his depth in the Championship, but has landed himself a Premier League job.
Ooh,
Do you agree?
good.
That's a tough. It's a funny one. That.
He's certainly out of his depth in the Premier League. I don't think he was out of his depth in the Championship because he got us to second place in the table. And we've got to, as much as we don't like him and we want him to fail, he put us in second spot with a system where he played wing backs with 3 at the back, and it worked. It worked a treat. We weren't getting beat.
Not that I want to be pernickety with Rob Edwards, but I will anyway. When he left, what, third?
Third,
We're second under Hellball.
Yeah, it was. It was a miraculous start. Come on, let's hold our hands.
Hey, I was a fan of Rob Edwards when he came in.
I had us down after Carrick's departure. It was doom and gloom. I had us down for about 14th, to be honest, and I kept saying it's been a miraculous start. We don't look like we're going to get beat. And Hellberg's come in, icing on the cake, fine-tuned us, and now we look like an absolute Rolls Royce of a team. We really do. We look like we're not going to get beat, and we look like we're going to blow teams out of the water, like I was saying, in the first half of games. That's how good we've become.
Good.
I think 2 things. One that I found interesting, when Edwards came in, he said he wanted, when we didn't have the ball, to be pressing to get the ball back. Now, if anything, that's improved under Kim.
Definitely, yeah.
Because I think our pressing is far, far superior. We're hunting in packs now and winning the ball in dangerous positions. And the second one, this will be one for you, Dicko. maybe you can have a look at in the next week or so. When was the last time we swapped managers? And when one came in and one left, and they both had 100% records in the first 3 games. It's miraculous what Rob's doing down there, isn't it? 100% record.
That was upsetting to see that late winner going for Arsenal, wasn't it? It was really upsetting that. One thing I will credit Rob Edwards for, though, in all seriousness, was the togetherness he brought between the fans and the players. And when Kim Hellbergs came in, that's continued. You know, yesterday it wasn't the biggest of crowds yesterday, but you could feel the energy in the stadium. Everybody was up for it. You could feel the connection between the fans and the players, and that was started by Rob Edwards. So I have to give him a little bit of credit for that. Bandy, TC, why is Bergzog still getting game time?
Have you seen that meme of Mourinho where he says, "If I speak, I will be in trouble"?
Cut.
I don't know. Look, we're flying at the moment. I don't want to come in A and B negative, but what I will say is Delano will not be happy with his own performances. I will say that. His decision making. One thing he does do well, when we're holding on to games at the end, he's got the ball in the corner, he's strong. He's good. He holds the ball up. He knows to take it in the right position at that time. Previously, I haven't particularly minded Bergzog as an impact player coming on off the bench with 20 minutes left when we're maybe a goal up to hold the ball up a little bit. I think he is what he is. He's not a starter, certainly not. So I think that's maybe where some of the criticism and the eyes are on him. But the other players are playing so well as well. Let's hope Delano does notch a couple of goals that are going to be vital to us in the coming months. So I'm not going to come on here and massively disrespect him. But do I want him to start for us at the moment? I'd be stupid to say yes, because I don't.
He's got a tremendous skill set. He's a bit of a maverick. He plays off the cuff, but he's a hard player to integrate into a team system, and I think you can only use him as an impact. The one-on-one yesterday, I just knew he wasn't going to score, but I was hoping that he'd lift his head up and just play a little slide rule pass to Hackney to tap it in, but he didn't. He just plays with his head down, and I've always said he's a big bag of frustration for me, but he's obviously a sound lad. He's a good lad. All the players, respect him, and he has a good banter with them, and that's good. You need that for the dressing room, but if you could make him more of a team player, it'd be a far better player.
You took the words right out of my mouth there. I was just going to say, any team celebrations, he did the one with the ball, didn't he? So the players obviously like him in and around the squad.
He's probably a sound lad.
We've had no trouble out with him, unlike we have in the past with other players, kicking up a stink when they're not in the team. I think he's the type of person you need in and around the squad. But would he start for me? No.
Yeah.
The one thing that frustrates me with him is he wears gloves more than Sol Bryn. But other than that, anyway, don't get me started with him. I'm not going to get out. I'm already in trouble for being negative, so I'm not going to get in more trouble. We'll move on from Bergzog, right? We'll move on. We'll end with your pal, John, is coming with 2 good questions. So we'll end with John's questions. Have to be quick, though. John says, we have scored 2+ goals 11 times this season, 6 times in the past 7 games since Rob Edwards left. Do you think Rob Edwards was holding us back? We've discussed that, so we can pass on that bit. The Kim Hellberg bounce is similar to Michael Carrick, but I think his ability to adapt and his attention to detail will prevent the end of the season slump that Michael Carrick had. So I think that's a great point by John, because I agree with him. I think Kim Hellberg's ability to adapt and change tactics and players to suit the opposition is where Michael Carrick failed, because it was one way and one way only under Michael Carrick, which was his way.
Yeah, I don't want to big John up too much. I'll be seeing him tonight, but he does come up with a good point every now and again. So well done, pal.
And we'll end with this one, Bandy, from Jono as well.
Yep.
Does anyone else worry what the ticket prices will be next season when they get promoted? Might rival World Cup ticket prices. Seriously though, I wish the club would do something to fill the empty seats. Any ideas? Well, John, my thoughts are yesterday's crowd was 24,044, if I'm correct. I think it was, yeah. Average crowd this season is 26,557. So we lost a couple of thousand people yesterday. It's the game right before Christmas. It's a tough time for people on Teesside to, financially pull out £32 cheapest seat in the stadium at this time of year when they're saving the pennies. It's historically a low crowd for most teams at this time of year because it's a tough time. I agree with you. Why maybe next season? Well, if we're in the Premier League, it won't matter because it'll be full. But if you're in the Championship, I would like to think the club would take note of that and maybe try to do some sort of ticket deal, even if it's for schools and colleges at Middlesbrough to fill up some of those empty seats. Bandy?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, going on yesterday's crowd, you're looking, like you said, it's a week or so before Christmas. It's QPR. They brought a block full. Respect to the fans that came up here. Brilliant. I'll never criticise away fans. They're fantastic, but they're not a massive supported club. Like, we've had some pulsating games at home this season with big followings, which obviously put another couple of thousand on the gate. People are picking and choosing around Christmas time. We've got some big games coming up. Boxing Day against Blackburn. So I wouldn't get too beaten up about the crowd. I think if Gibson reduced ticket prices and people still didn't come, then what does he do? He's in a bit of a predicament there. So Gibson will do what's best for the club, and I don't think our prices for season tickets are too bad at all. I think it's very, very good value for money, particularly looking at the football we're playing at the moment. It's like Barcelona. And match day prices, walk-up prices, contestable, but we're not privy to the financials of the club, so it's difficult for me to say, Gibson should be lowering the prices, should be doing this, should be doing that. I'm not sat in the boardroom. I'm not privy to the account, so it's hard to say this is what he should be doing.
I think one thing I will say quickly, I think they've got the half-season ticket card thing coming in, which kicks in Boxing Day, which is already pretty much a sellout anyway. So I think the attendances will go up, and obviously it's a tough time of year. It's not in a particularly affluent area where people have the money, so it is what it is. That, but we've already heard them today described as being 1970s Brazil and Barcelona. So if you have got the money, it is a bargain at the moment.
I'll give you the hat trick. Real Madrid-Middlesbrough. There you
Real
go.
Madrid, that's a good one. What I will say is, if we're in the top two with 5-6 games to play, we will see some sellouts. So that's the difference. The demand will be there then.
I think
I don't think people will query too much about the price as well.
Yeah.
So.
I think they'll sell a couple of thousand half-season cards.
Absolutely,
I do personally. So
Christmas
present. I think the feel good factor's there at the moment, and because we've just bigged it up like that, Steve, you can send your check to Typical Boro. Thanks very much.
Right, guys, wrap it up there. Thank you both for coming on. Hope you've enjoyed it.
Class as ever. Yeah,
but because we're getting into Christmas and you've got your jumpers on, we'll have to finish with this, guys.
There we go. Where's yours? Where's yours, Cuts?
I haven't got me out, unfortunately. I missed that memo.
Come on, guys. Here we go. Snow is falling all around us. Children playing, having fun. It's the season. Love and understanding. Merry Christmas, Kim Hellberg. Merry Christmas, Kim Hellberg.
Get in there. Up the Borough.
I'll tell you what, that's the worst part of the pod. It's terrible.
Remember, Borough fans, don't say Typical Borough. Watch it, listen to it, and we'll be back again soon. Up the Borough.
Up the Borough.